in an everlasting search to explain PRI and how it works to people that I'm either working with in person or online, it takes a certain amount of self-education to really understand what's going on here, because it's so unfamiliar, especially when we're talking about pain. People usually associate working with pain, so say if you have a painful shoulder, that someone would do something to the shoulder. But that's really not, if you've watched the videos, that's not how PRI works. PRI is seeking to establish proper side-to-side movement of the human body, which includes both front and back, sagittal plane, frontal plane, side to side, and transverse plane rotation. All these movements have to occur at once. They get limited when you get stuck in a pattern that you cannot get out of. So in the left AIC, right BC pattern, you get stuck in a position that favors the right side, which generally orients the pelvis to the right, with a torso that counter-rotates back to the left to stay straight. This is normal when you're on your right foot. When you go to your left foot, the pattern should change. The pelvis should go to the left, your upper body should rotate to the right. So in that frontal plane, sagittal plane, and transverse planes, movements get compromised. We have to reestablish the ability to do all those three things, to move sagittally, frontally, and transverse on both sides. But what we're doing is we're doing too much of some things on one side and too little of some things on the other. So think of it as skills. You have a certain skill on the right side of the body that you've gotten way too good at. It's called standing on your right side. On the other side, the left, you have diminished skills. You've lost the skill to stand effectively on your left leg. So if I break this down, I'm just going to start with the pelvis and the femur. And here we got some transverse movement, some rotational movement, and some frontal plane movement. Well, sagittal also, but I'm just going to talk about frontal and transverse. So if you are in a left AIC pattern, your pelvis is oriented to the right. The left side comes forward, the right side moves back, and it orients everything to the right. Here's your right leg. This is my eyeglass case. I don't have my skeleton anymore, my legs, so this is going to be it. So in this position, you can see it, good. Pelvis orients to the right. The right leg, because it's sitting inside the acetabulum, inside the hip joint, the hip socket, goes with it. But that's not forward. Forward is this way. This is to the right. So because the pelvis is stuck in this position, the right leg turns internally. So the pelvis in the frontal plane, side to side, has shifted to the right. The right leg has shifted internally as it rotates internally. So you have an adducted right leg. So the right inner thigh, or the right adductor, is often tight. Neurologically, it's not really a stretchable issue. It's a positional issue. It is a brain saying, well, since we're always here, I'm just going to stay on all the time until you give me a reason to turn off. So you are stuck with a pelvis oriented to the right and a right leg that internally rotates on the pelvis. The pelvis is internally rotating on the leg because this is the internal part of the femur. So this is rotating onto that internal part. So we call that internal rotation of the pelvis on the leg. But the leg is also internally rotating on the pelvis. So you have two movements going on at all times. And that is what people were never considering. They would sit someone down, not realizing the pelvis looked like this, and they start rotating the leg and seeing what the range of motion is. And they'll find, obviously, that things are either decreased or increased. And they're not going to find the same readings between the two sides and assume, well, you got to start stretching because you got to even out the sides. Not taking into account that the pelvis is positioned to the right. Okay, that's kind of a tangent. Let me get back on track. So, in order to get to the left, we have to be able to unload the right side. We have to get out of this position. And that can sometimes be challenging for people. in order to, skill number one, deload or unload the right side, we have to be able to shift the pelvis to the left and externally rotate the right leg, which kicks in the right glute. So you have external rotation and abduction of the right leg that pushes us to the left. What is the number one thing that gets in the way of that? And it's really the same thing. A brain that cannot sense pronation of the right foot, so the right arch. I've made plenty of videos about the right arch. Not that someone's gonna know, but when their brain doesn't sense pronation of that right foot, the right glute, which should abduct this right leg, externally rotate the right leg, and concomitantly push us to the left, can't kick in. So the problem is, you could often put them in a side-lying position for a right glute exercise, and they're feeling the right glute. But the problem occurs when they go back to everyday life, and they're walking around, and it's just not working. They're not feeling better, or they feel better temporarily, but not for the long haul. Sometimes, what I never realized in the beginning was just because they can feel an exercise in a side-lying position and they're externally rotating their right leg and they have the right glute, they're feeling it, everything's looking good. If they are not wearing, this is where the shoes come in, if they are not sensing pronation of a right foot because they don't have the right shoes, or they just haven't, or they've gotten stuck so far to the right that their right foot simply hasn't pronated in such a long time, their brain doesn't know what to do with it, and so it resorts to the old pattern. When you lie them on their side and you get the pelvis oriented to the left and you're abducting and externally rotating the right leg, they're feeling the right glute. No problem, I got this. You're thinking, these people are gonna be so happy. But then they get up, and because they're not sensing the ground properly, through their probably a lot of times improper footwear for them as an individual, that brain says, I don't feel that pronation, so I'm not gonna kick in the right glute, I'm gonna put the pelvis back to where I'm very comfortable. So you haven't learned anything. You've learned how to activate the right glute in a side-lying position, but that's not how we live. You didn't learn how to unload the right side to get to the left in an upright, normal, free-living situation. So skill number one is deloading the right side. It's not hard to teach a right glute exercise. However, it is hard for someone to realize that if their shoes are not proper, if their brain can't sense pronation of the right foot, they can't kick in that right glute when walking around, they can't abduct, externally rotate that right leg, which is on the ground, but it pushes us to the left. And hence, skill number one is never learned. So skill number one is deloading the right side so that you can actually get to the left, but that requires sensory awareness of the floor, of the ground, through the right arch, which is pronation of the right foot, and you'd be amazed how many people are living in a supinated right foot position. They'll feel their weight on their heel and towards the outside of their foot. I see it all the time. Actually, I'm going to include a picture right there. You can see it. Look at the left foot is flat, the right foot is supinated, and it looks like they have a higher arch on the right side. If you looked at the bottom of this gentleman's shoe, it was all worn out on the outside anterior portion, front outside portion of the shoe. That is someone who could not get pronation of a right foot and thus was stuck with the pelvis oriented to the right and was in their pattern. So skill number one, unloading the right side. It requires a right glute and it requires sensory awareness of a right arch to make it all happen to get to the left. And the next video will be about when you do get to the left, what has to happen. And that's skill number two. If you found this video interesting or helpful, could you please like it, share it, subscribe to the channel, do anything you can to spread this information, because PRI is really changing people's lives, and I hope to share it with even more people. Thanks.